गुरुभ्यो नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोषित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. My pranams to Reverend Swami Atmaidanji Maharaj and other senior monks seated up to the dais, and my namaskar to all the junior monks. My dear devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, you are expecting very eagerly to know whether this Swami speaks in Telugu or in English. I think you are quite disappointed that I am going to speak in English. And I am sure Mr. Nataraja Raju is going to translate better than what I speak in Telugu. We are celebrating the Platinum Jubilee, that is 75th years of Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama Visakhapatnam, with this beautiful program of Akhila Andhra Bhakta Sammelana. The duty of the president of this session is to sum up the proceedings of all the session that has taken place from the 19th to 21st of this month of this Bhakta Sammelana. Before doing that, I like to share two things, very important things. One is, we have to remember that those Swamis who have worked from the very beginning, who have underwent lot of difficulties to establish an ashrama here and bring into this state. I still remember one of the senior monks with whom I lived for 15 years, who had very quite closely known to Swami Nishraya Sanji, who was the first president of this ashrama here. And the Swami whom I am mentioning, his name was Swami Sundanji Maharaj, who was the president of Mangalore Ashrama. So he used to tell that he visited here also. He had a Diksha from Reverend Swami Virjanji Maharaj in the year 1940s, somewhere 1940s. And the Nishrayasan Swamiji used to tell how he used to survive with the difficult days. He used to say, I hawk my lectures. I hawk my lecture for my survival here, he used to say. He used to go here and there and speak, and the money that he used to get, and by that he used to live. And what was his daily lunch, do you know? Coconut gratings with little jaggery. That was the days during those days. That was a very difficult days. Now we have come up a lot by the grace of Thakur and Swamiji. You find a beautiful ashrama and this beautiful program. I don't think the senior Swamis never visualized such a day when thousands of devotees gather here in front of this beautiful sea. And second thing, regarding our Atmaidanji Maharaj, you are all lucky because you have a wonderful, very dynamic president here. He is here because I know him. When he came to Mysore and what work he had done, the first Bhakta Sammelana of Karnataka was organized very grand manner by Reverend Swamiji. Swamiji also started what you call Jnanavahini, which used to go to the different villages of Karnataka to spread the message of Thakur Man Swamiji. It was highly successful venture. And the Swamiji, Atmaidanji came last month to Mangalore to deliver a talk in one of the retreats that we conducted there. And while coming there, he brought a small video clippings and he showed us that video clipping was the cyclone, the devastating cyclone Hudhud. And he showed, and we are all simply surprised to see the devastation that has wrought by this cyclone. And I asked Swamiji, Swamiji, how do you going to celebrate next month this, this Silver Jubilee function with all this Bhakta Sammelana and all these things? He said, no, Thakur will do. He said, Thakur will do. In Kannada I said to him, Thakur will do it. But remember, Thakur does, but he selects the right person to do it. Sri Rama did not select Angada to jump the ocean. Only he selected Hanuman. Isn't that so? And also, Thakur has selected Abdul to organize a beautiful program. Now, coming to the proceeding that took place from the 19th onwards, the first program was a youth program. It was an excellent program, wherein I noticed all youngsters, probably 800 students or maybe 1,000 students, fully engaged themselves to hear the Swamiji's teaching, Swami Vivekananda's teachings. Their enthusiasm, their participation was really heartening to see. And second, and when in the next afternoon session, the inaugural session, from the inaugural session to the concluding session, I have noticed one thing. The subject that has been chosen for this Bhakta Sammelana, the Swamiji has got given a lot of thoughts over it. It has got a deeper meaning in this title itself. The first day, the first session began with Sri Ramakrishna Bhava and Bhava Prachar. It's very, very important. If we want to become the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to immerse ourselves with the Ramakrishna Bhava. And we have to be within Ramakrishna Bhava. Then only we will grow spiritually ourselves. And next all those things, how you can be within the Bhava. And that next session, the topic of the next session will explain to us renunciation and service. And the second day, that yesterday, the morning session was spiritual practice. The afternoon session, the second session in the morning was satsang, and the third session on Holy Mother. And today, very important, the topic that Atmano Mokshatam Jagadhitaya Cha. All this has got a meaning, and it has a bearing on our spiritual life. As you all know, Thakur used to say, without renunciation, you cannot progress towards God. If you want to progress God, we have to renounce. What we have to renounce? Me and mine. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Kamini and Kanchan. He used to say, Kamini and Kanchan. And it implied also, me and mine. When we say it is I, then we are caught. When you say, oh Lord, everything is yours and you, then we are released. It is just like feeling within ourselves that, oh Lord, everything belongs to you. That renunciation is very, very important. Those who are unable to renounce externally, they have to, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, you have to renounce internally. Internally, renunciation is nothing but you have a change of attitude. Without change of attitude, spirituality cannot, go in, deep in, set in properly. What is the change of attitude? One thing we have to remember, that whatever happens in our life, there is a God behind every act that happens in our life and externally also. That we keep in mind, and whatever we do, the work that we do, if we think that it is the service to the God, it is a worship to the God, then everything becomes very smooth. Reverend Swami Ranganathanji used to tell in his talk, you might have seen in the olden days the bullock cart they used to use in the villages. The bullock cart, after a long time of using, the dust used to accumulate in the wheels, and the spoke of the wheel, and it used to be give a very, very, very rough sound, unbearable sound used to give, and also it was difficult for the oxen to pull the carts, this cart. So Ranganathanji Maharaj used to tell, You have to put a 1 or 2 drop of oil to the wheels. Once as you put 1 or 2 drop of oil, the wheels started moving very smoothly, and the sound, the difficult sound and difficulty to pull also is reduced. So like that, we have to put a little bit of oil into our spiritual life, and that is nothing but devotion to God. You have to put a little bit of love of God, then everything becomes so easy. So here, renunciation also means love for God also. Once you renounce something, you have to hold on something, and that you have to hold on God. Then you have to bring God in our day-to-day life. The next comes then satsanga. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna beautifully tells, Macchitta madghata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satatayuktaram bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te teshame anukampartham aham ajnanajantamah nashayishyami jnanadipena bhaswata. It's a beautiful thing. What is this satsanga? Satsanga is nothing but the devotees all together sit together and discuss about the glories of the Lord, glories of spirituality, and they enjoy it. And by enjoying and by hearing and by speaking each other about the Lord, they get devotion to God. When I get a devotion to God, what the God will do when the devotion enters into our life, then the Lord instills in our intellect a kind of intelligence by which we can know the Lord. And by knowing Lord, we are liberated. That is what he says. By satsanga, what benefit you get is, one is that we get the devotion to God, and second thing, we know the impermanence of the world, and third thing is, slowly we come nearer to God, and as the devotion increases, and we also grow internally spiritually. That is what satsanga means. The benefit of satsanga is that we get the faith in God and an inspiration to practice spirituality in our day-to-day life. That is what satsanga means. Really, satsanga means it has a deeper meaning by which we grow internally. And the last session was very interesting, and that is the mantra that has been given by Swami Vivekananda. That is Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya Cha. This is a mantra. As our Swamiji has told in the morning, Vinishalanji told, it is a mantra given to the modern world. It is not just for Ramakrishna mission or not for Ramakrishna devotees alone. It is a mantra given to the whole world, to humanity. That is Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya Cha. Atmano Mokshartham. Why this mantra Atmano Mokshartham? It means we as a human being, as a purpose in taking this birth, human birth. There is a purpose. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, we have not come to this world accidentally at all. There is a purpose behind this taking human birth. And what is that purpose? To get liberation, to get infinite happiness, to get infinite peace. To be free is the aim of this human life. To put into Sri Ramakrishna's word, the aim of life is Bhagavad Labh. Bhagavad Labh. He used to say Bhagavad Labh. Not Nasta. It's a labh. You gain something. What is that you gain? You are liberated. And the purpose of human life is to see God. As Sri Ramakrishna said, see God. By seeing God, you will become free. That is the aim of life. That is this. You grow internally, you grow spiritually, then you are liberated, slowly you liberated from the clutches of our human mind, our desires. And that is what the Atmano Moksha, that is the aim, that is the aim of human life itself. It is required for not just an Indian, for every human being that lives in this earth. there is a purpose in life. The purpose is to realize our internal nature. And that is a purpose, Atmano Mokshartam. Now how you can achieve it? You can achieve it by serving others also. So far, before Sri Ramakrishna, at advent of Sri Ramakrishna, spirituality was something internal only. It is only too personal it was. But after Sri Ramakrishna's advent, it became universal. He has added one more quotient to it, one more dimension to it. That is, by serving others also, you grow spiritually, by serving others. And how do you serve? How do you serve the people? Not that I have something, so I am very strong, so I serve something. I have got something, I give it to you. It is not like that. As Sri Ramakrishna Swami Vivekananda told us, say, look upon every being as Shiva and serve it and help them. You are not above the person who receives help, but you are a beneficiary here, because you get an opportunity to serve the people. God has given an opportunity to serve the people. So as a human being, we have a obligation to the society. What is that? You have to help others as much as possible, to live a life of service to others is very, very important. Our society is undergoing a great change here, great change here. We have to learn from Holy Mother Sri Mata Sharda Devi. Look here, she lived in a very small Dagnahamad room, very small. We all, when we go there, we ask them, Mother lived here in a small room. Yes, she lived in that room. And how she not only lived, he served her, the mother-in-law also devotees who came to see Sri Ramakrishna also. She cooked her, she looked after, everyone she looked after so nicely. And now what is happening now? The society is changing, and our youngsters are trying to find out, as their parents become old, that go and in search of old age homes. The more and more old ages are coming. It is not good sign for a healthy society. Old age home is not at a healthy progress or a healthy indication of a society. In Indian system and Indian culture, we didn't have any old age home at all. All old people are looked after very lovingly in our home. But unfortunately, due to various factors, we are going away from our culture. We have to learn from our mother that we have to serve not only our own relations, but we have to serve the people, our neighbors, as the veritable Lord Himself. That is what spiritual practice. Now here, two things you have to remember, Atmana Mokshartam. One is, we have a purpose in life to grow spiritually. Second thing, serve the people as we serve the Lord Himself. And that is the meaning. It is a great ideal kept given to humanity by Swami Vivekananda. I have already taken 15 minutes, I have given 15 minutes, another 2 minutes I get, no, I can continue? Okay, I have asked to continue another 2 minutes more. Now, going spiritually, Atmana Mokshartam Jagadhyat, do every work as a worship to Lord. When I was a brahmachari, I even know I am brahmachari. When I was a white shirt brahmachari, I was very white shirt. In Ramakrishna Mission, 9 years you have to be in the white shirt. Then after 9 years, you are given a diksha and you wear this upper cloth. I lived with the Swamiji. I used to study Bhagavad Gita, and there I saw one very interesting shloka there. Krishna says to Arjuna, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Oh Arjuna, remember me and fight. Remember me and fight. Here the meaning is, the remembrance and also fighting should go together. Cooking and remembering God also should go in your home also. While sitting in the office, you have to remember God. At the same time, you have to do work. I had some doubt. Is it possible? Because Krishna says in other places, Yoga Karmasu Kausala. We have to be very, very clever also. If you concentrate on God, your work will suffer. You cannot do work. If you start working, you cannot remember at all. It cannot go together, Yeah, I had some doubt. I went to the senior Swamiji and put this question to him, this, paradox. I went in front of the Swamiji, very senior Swamiji. And Swamiji, I have a doubt. Today I read this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Ma Manu Paridhyaja. But I have some doubt. It is ever possible to remember God at the same time, work, do your duties. And I explained to him, see, if you remember God, you cannot work. If you start working, you cannot remember also God. I added one more thing. There must be some mistake in this sloka, I said. Unfortunately, I said it's a mistake. The Swamiji looked at me, you are finding fault with Krishna himself? He asked. Then I took aback and I sorry Swamiji, I wanted to know actually what he meant. Then he said, look here. He didn't answer me. Look here. My room, very senior Swamiji, retired Swamiji, disciple of Mahapurush Maharaj, and look here, nobody has come and cleaned since 4 days my room. Can you clean this room? He asked. I said, yes, Swamiji. There's an opportunity to serve senior Swamiji. Yes. And you say, you sweep it and scrub it. He said, yes, Swamiji. I went and brought the broomstick and a bucket of water and a cloth to wipe. And as I entered his room, a big hall, even though the hall is there, the Swamiji went out. There is a veranda, the old Swamiji went out and was walking. And I cleaned it nicely, and as soon as I cleaned, the Swamiji entered inside and I went. This went on for 3 days. Every day I used to morning come and clean it and go back. Every day I used to go out and come back. The 4th day, a little change took place. The senior Swamiji did not go out far away. He was just outside the door. Just outside the door. But not visible to me. Not visible to me outside. But something happened to me in my mind. That day I took more care to clean the room. Even the window cells, table, everything I took care and cleaned so nicely. Not a speck of dust you could find. It took more time. I cleaned very nicely. The 5th day also I cleaned very nicely. The 5th day Swamiji entered after my cleaning and he put me a question. You see, Murthy, my previous name. I have found some change since 2 days. Your work has improved a lot. Yeah. What is the matter? He asked. Since 2 days, your work has improved. I had to tell the truth. Swamiji, first 3 days, we went out. I cleaned the house. But since 2 days, I felt that you are watching me. So when I felt that you are watching me, I took more interest and more care to clean all the places, including the window sill and also the table, and everywhere I cleaned. He asked me, have I come and stood in front of me? Did you see me? You were cleaning? No, I did not see you. I felt in my mind, I kept in my mind that you are watching. And that is what Krishna says. Think that God is watching you always and do your work. There's a beautiful story about Kanakadasa. You may have heard of Kanakadasa, the famous Dasa of Karnataka. The Kanakadasa was a great sight. He has written so many beautiful kirtanas. The Kanakadasa being a shepherd, comes from shepherd community. Many of the so-called superior people did not like him. So the Guru, Kanakadasa's Guru, Vyasaraya Swamiji, himself was a great saint. So he wanted to teach a lesson to all these the Brahmins. They wanted to teach the Pandits. They wanted to teach a lesson. So what he did, after the puja is over, he asked them to bring banana, and he distributed to everyone, including Kanaka, and told them, wait here, you have to take this banana to your home, and you have to eat this banana where there is nobody. Where there is nobody, you should eat, and tomorrow you must come and tell me how you have eaten this banana. How you have eaten this banana. All went took home. Next day after puja, there is a big sabha was there. In the sabha, the Guru Vyasaraya Swami asked everyone, hello, how do you, how could you able to eat banana? Yeah, everyone told, yes, we ate our banana. How did you eat? We went to home and closed the door and we ate. And some people told we sent our family outside to neighbor and we ate. Some people told we went to the river bank and we ate. And very easy. And when the turn of Kanaka came, he placed a banana that was given by his guru previous day in front of the guru and made a sastang pranam. And guru asked him, what is Kanaka? You have not eaten this banana? The Kanaka said, no. Why? I did not see a place, I did not get a place where there is nobody. So what is that? All these people have got a place, and why did you not? No, wherever I went, I saw that Krishna. Everywhere I saw Krishna watching me. Even when I was sleeping, the Krishna was watching. You have to remember, when you are sleeping also, Krishna is watching. Even now he is watching. When you are doing work also watching. That is what Karma Yoga, that is what Sri Ramakrishna said, Atmano mokshartam jagadhitayacha. You have to do your work as a worship to God. Even you give a cup of water to your neighbor, it is also equal to the puja. Rabbi Ranganath Maharaj told me when I joined, whatever that you do in the ashrama, you remember, it is equal to the worship. He told me even to clean the floor, gardening, lecturing, he had made a point, lecturing also, everything that you do in the ashrama is nothing but equal or more than the worship that you do in the temple. If you have this attitude change, it is not the work that binds you, it is not the work that binds us. It is the attitude that we develop within ourselves binds us. And when we bring God in our activity, in our mind, look, life becomes so beautiful, like a drop of oil put into the wheels of the car, and life becomes smooth, and we proceed towards the God. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity.
పూజ్య స్వామి యుతకమానందజీ వారి ఉపన్యాసానికి క్లుప్తమైన అనువాదం. పూజ్య స్వామీజీ ఈ 3 రోజులు జరిగిన కార్యక్రమాలన్నింటినీ నేను నటి మీద చిన్న నివేదన చేస్తాను అని చెప్పి ప్రసంగాన్ని ప్రారంభించారు. విశాఖపట్నంలో రామకృష్ణ మఠాన్ని స్థాపించడానికి ఎంతో కష్టపడిన స్వామీజీలని మనం ఈ సందర్భంగా గుర్తు చేసుకోవాలి. పూజ్య స్వామి నిశ్రేషానందజీ మహారాజ్ ఇక్కడ ఈ ఆశ్రమాన్ని స్థాపించారు. ఆయన ఎంత కష్టమైన జీవితాన్ని గడిపారంటే చివరికి నేను డబ్బుల కోసం ఉపన్యాసాలు ఇస్తున్నాను అని కూడా చెప్పేవారు. కేవలం బెల్లం కొబ్బరి కలుపుకొని తిని దాంతో ఆయన కాలం గడిపారు. ఆ రోజున బహుశా వారు ఆశ్రమం ఇలాగా అభివృద్ధి చెందుతుందని ఊహించుండరు. తర్వాత పూజ్యస్వామి ఆత్మవిధానందజీ మహారాజ్ వారు ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతం కార్యదర్శి. వారు చాలా డైనమిక్ స్వామి. మేము హుద్హుద్ తుఫాన్ యొక్క చలనచిత్రాన్ని చూసి ఇంత ఘోరం జరిగిన తర్వాత మీరు ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ఎలా ఏర్పాటు చేస్తారని అడిగితే పూజ్య స్వామీజీ వారు శ్రీరామకృష్ణ ఎంతో చూసుకుంటారని చెప్పారు. అలాగే ఈనాడు కార్యక్రమం జరుగుతోంది. 19వ తారీఖున చాలా చక్కటి యువ సమ్మేళనం జరిగింది. దానిలో యువకులే వివేకానంద సందేశాన్ని వివరించారు. ఇక్కడ భక్తి సమ్మేళనం చాలా బాగా జరుగుతోంది. రామకృష్ణ భావంలో మనందరం మునిగిపోతే తప్ప నిజంగా మనం భావ ప్రచారం చేయలేం. అందువల్ల ఇక్కడ విషయాలన్నీ కూడా మనం చక్కగా నేర్చుకోవాలి. చాలా చక్కటి అంశాలతో ఇక్కడ సమావేశాలు జరిగాయి. వీటిలో మనం నేర్చుకున్న విషయాలు అనేకం ఉన్నాయి. ముందుగా త్యాగం అనేది ఒక అంశం. అది అన్నిటికంటే ముఖ్యం. బాహ్యమైన త్యాగం కన్నా కూడా ఆంతరికమైన త్యాగం, లోపలి త్యాగం ముఖ్యం. మనసులో మనం త్యాగం అనేది అలవరుచుకోవాలి. చేసే పనులన్నీ ఆరాధన అనే భావంతో చేయాలి. ఎద్దుబండిని కనుక చాలా రోజులు నడపకుండా పక్కన పెడితే దాని చక్రాలు కిరుకిరుమని చాలా శబ్దం చేస్తూ ఉంటాయి. ఎద్దులు కూడా లాగడానికి చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడతాయి. అయితే దానిలో నూనె కనుక కందిని కింద వేస్తే చక్రాల్లో బండి సాఫీగా నడుస్తుంది. మన జీవితంలో త్యాగం అనేది ఆ నూనె లాంటిది. ఎప్పుడైతే త్యాగం అనేది అలవరుచుకుంటామో మన జీవితం సాఫీగా ముందుకు సాగిపోతుంది. తర్వాత అంశం సత్సంగం. ఈ భక్తులందరూ ఒకచోట చేరి భగవంతుడి గురించి మాట్లాడి సంకీర్తన మొదలైనవన్నీ చేస్తారు. ఇదే సత్సంగం. అప్పుడు భగవంతుడే మనలో ఆయనను తెలుసుకునే బుద్ధిని ఇస్తాడు. మనకి ఆయనను తెలుసుకునే బుద్ధిని ఆయనే ఇస్తాడు. దాంతోపాటు ఈ ప్రపంచం తాత్కాలికమని, దేవుడే నిజమని చెప్పి మనం సత్సంగం వల్ల తెలుసుకుంటాం. తర్వాత సమావేశంలో ఆత్మనో మోక్షార్థం జగతితాయచ అనే అంశం మీద ఈ మంత్రం కేవలం రామకృష్ణ మఠానికి లేకపోతే ఈ రామకృష్ణ భక్తులకి సంబంధించిందే కాక ప్రపంచం మొత్తానికి ఇచ్చిన సందేశం. మానవ జీవిత లక్ష్యం భగవత్ లాభం. ఇది లాభం. జీవిత లక్ష్యంలో నష్టం అనేది ఏమీ లేదు. విశ్వంలో ఇది అందరికీ ఇది కూడా వర్తిస్తుంది. అందరికీ భగవత్ లాభమే వాళ్ళ జీవిత లక్ష్యం. దీన్ని సాధించడానికి మనం సేవ చేయాలి. అది ఆ సందేశంలో ముఖ్యమైన విషయం. శ్రీరామకృష్ణుల తర్వాత అంతకు ముందు వరకు ఆధ్యాత్మికత అనేది ఏదో ఇంట్లో కూర్చొని చేసుకునే విషయం, ఆరాధన అనేది, పూజ అనేది. అయితే ఆయన వచ్చిన తర్వాత సేవకు కూడా ఆరాధన అనే రూపాన్ని ఇచ్చారు. శారదాదేవిని చూసినప్పుడు సేవ అనేది ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనగా మనం ఎలా చేయవచ్చో తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. ఈ రోజున ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ వృద్ధాశ్రమాలు తయారవుతున్నాయి.